Hey, what's up guys, Fish from Beyond here, and we are back with the updated guide for 3.28 Mirage. There's cool things now that we can get imbued, or just like that extra +1. There's a lot of cool things you can put on dual strike of ambidexterity. A good one would be like Fortify. You could get Ruthless. You can even get Endurance Charge when stunned, which is cool. And since there is now a Volatility Orb, you can get this all the way up to 18%, but that means you won't have Fortify on the ephemeral edge, which means you'll have to put the Fortify whether it's on your gem or even on your armor. There's a lot of flexibility with this build on how you want to run it and how you want to play it. What I've been farming is mainly Harvest. Most of my currency though is realistically from crafting. And that was like when I started with the Bone Shatter into Double Strike, crafting Axis, and then transitioned into the Assassin for dual strike of AMBI. And thankfully, like getting Fortify, let's assume that, because this number doesn't matter that much, but just Fortify with a 15% is actually not that bad. And if you even drop it lower, it's pretty free. But you can totally forego the Fortify and just put it on the armor. An update though is, since we are Assassin, we don't really gain much from the necrotic armor. The Twilight Regalia will provide us more ES. Only problem though is we do need the 32% reduced attribute requirement. But I'm just here to showcase the budget version, or where I'm at. It's pretty budget, not the highest DPS. A lot of things to be improved. So here's the map. Not the greatest map. But nice thing with this league is you can buy 8 mods. Like, you could honestly make the trade filter a lot more safer, but this is what I'm running just to showcase the build. Monsters Possessed, and we are doing Harvest of Cornucopia, Guarantee Harvest, doubling, and then just more pack size. The tree that I'm running is this. I've only recently added the Astrolabe since it's like 40 to 50 C, and it's practically free compared to like a Cornucopia, which is like 50 C to put in. I don't know if it's profitable to do, but we're trying it out. I might go back to just removing that and just guaranteeing the harvest. We will see. But anyway, I'm just doing coves. I initially tried like running the random maps around it. It just doesn't feel that good, personally speaking.
So big.
So with the strat that I'm doing is I'm just looking for the boss in coves, searching for the boat, kill the boat, or kill the boss of the boat so you can get better altars. And I don't have any other events aside from what's it called? The harvest. So you can't put shrines, you can't put breaches, because then the Mirage has a chance to like spawn at those events. I have rogue exiles on my tree specifically. I honestly don't know if it's good. I might switch it to Beyond. I'm still kind of figuring things out. The meta is very up in the air with this league. The nice thing though is we didn't really get touched. We lost Awaken Ellie, but they gave us full reflect immunity on our ascendancy, so that's very nice. With Searing, mods are pretty free. We don't really use armor, nor do we use evasion. Like, we use a little bit, but mainly we are a block build, and my block is still pretty sad. So I like to go around the map, kill everything, grab the altars, then go into the harvest. But so far, the league's going good.
Wow, it's so big.
And by the end of this, I will go through the new guide with you guys for 3.28. Then I'll show you what my character is currently at with this league. Things that I've done that kind of different from the guide. And it's just to solve problems and things like. But I did make note of some like improvements and improvements and options that I made. Like, currently I'm running Nearby Enemies Are Chilled, which is really just a big quality of life. It is not by any means required. Oh my god, the Those possessed mobs are very scary. And it's also, I probably have negative fire res. Yeah, there it is, 3%. But that's because I grabbed that altar. That's a decision on my part. It would help if I popped the tincture. Like there, I popped the tincture. But that's because I'm just grabbing bad altars. I don't really look. I'm honestly looking for the quant and rarity. And just hope to God that block saves us. It gives us enough survivability where I'm like, okay, we can run it. So the build definitely has, ooh, spicy. Definitely has a lot of room to improve, especially once we get a mage blood. I'm probably going to go with a 3 flask mage blood because we don't need the 4th flask, realistically speaking. Pro tip with harvest: if you ever get the boss where he is not phasing but he is already at the life breakpoint to phase, all you have to do is walk away. Just walk off the screen a little bit, and usually that'll fix him. Oh god,
These are the gym.
it's a little spicy in here.
That's good, right?
Imagine if that was like a dupe mage blood. That would have been crazy. But this is just a showcase of how the build's doing on harvest bosses, which I feel like is a pretty good showcase, especially with rough modifiers. It does a lot more damage, especially if you put the sigil of power down, you pop your tincture, pop your focus. Realistically, I'm pretty bad at doing all the things unless I'm actually concentrating, but usually I'm just vibing, just blasting going. That's one thing to note about the shape though. Doing the astrolabe's, you need to complete their objective. With harvest, you have to do all the plots, even if the plot is pretty sad. Then once we're done with the astrolabe, we do the mirage. Let's see. Ooh, Fountain of Wealth, or more currency. It is more I don't know if harvest counts for the currency, but maybe it does. Maybe we go in for the hopium, or you never know, a Hinocor's lock might appear, or even a mirror. Jesus Christ, if I'm lucky. More quant. More quant. Curses are reflected. That means you do not pop your what they call it, your focus, because your curses are fake. You can min-max this a little bit. You can unequip the poacher's mark, or assassin's mark. Sorry, poacher's mark is what I was using on the double strike.
Currency.
Wow, it's so big.
Or you could be using warlord's mark if that's what you're using to get endurance charge. That's good enough. Let's check the harvest. Good practice is actually put down the sigil of power. As you can see, I don't do it pretty often, but it's a skill issue at that point. Oh, and I popped the focus because I forget that it is what do you call it? Reflect. Is he? Oh god. Oh man. This keeps jumping. Oh, okay, cool. That's bad. Things happen. Walk of shame. Oh, here we are. little bit more walk of shame. There we go. Well, while we wait for him, might as well loot. Go. There we go. Oh my god. More. Let's see this one. And we have one boss.
That's good, right?
And there we go. Map's done. I have a it's funny, like actually using like a logout macro might be faster because then it's only one loading screen, or one or two, because then you gotta go back to the hideout. But at least you don't have to walk just that little minute. And let's go over the 3.28 budget POB. So things that have changed, which is we now use a Twilight Regalia with reduced attribute requirements if you're really tight on intelligence. Otherwise, you can also still use the necrotic armor. It's not that great of like DPS loss. It's not that big of a deal in my opinion. See what's affordable, see what's attainable. I wouldn't stress too much on the Twilight Regalia. For the min-max, yes, personally. And then for the belt, we swapped from the ES Res Stick Stygian. We now have a anointed pretty Res Stick cord belt. So with the cord belt, it needs to be I-86 if you want the T1 LE with attacks. And I went with Essence of Torment on the belt when it is what I would recommend to craft. I didn't do that. I put the Essence of Torment on the boots, which made it much more painful on my actual league POB, which I'm on PoE Ninja's AMBI Fish if you're curious of how that build's going. Well, it's actually the one we just showcased earlier. But aside from that, I did make note of the things in the notes. And if I remembered, I tried to highlight all the different things. So accuracy wheel. This is something I'm actually taking in League because I don't have the jewels for accuracy at the moment. Because I went with nearby enemies are chilled on one of my Megalos. Fortify Corrupt is optional now, since you can get it on like your dual strike of AMBI, or you can put it on your body armor if Fortify is dumb expensive. And here I put in the new I-86 Twilight Regalia, but it needs reduced int requirements. So when you're crafting this, it's similar. It's pretty much dense spam until you're happy with the prefixes, and then it's just Eldritch the suffixes. Fall base doesn't change. All that matters is a natural 1.6 APS with the synth implicit. Megalos are still the same. Large cluster is still the same. Budget large cluster, if it exists, same thing. Make sure to look at the image. If it's in the middle, it's bricked when it shows up on the trade site. Our Watcher's Eye, Lethal Pride, I highly recommend using the Timeless Jewel Calculator. All you really care about is double damage, rage on hit if you're not getting Blood Scent. And anything else that would be cool for you, whether it's melee crit, melee damage, as long as it's useful, it's nice. But most people like to grab as much double damage as they can on the notables in that section, so use the tree. If you're curious on how to use this, I believe I showcase it on my 3.26 video. If I'm not mistaken, I might be. And then avoid shock. So the new thing is Essence of Torment. Because it's something I wasn't using previously, but I am now, because you can actually get, like, if you do it on your boots, you can actually get like full avoid shock, just boots alone, or even on the belt, and it kind of helps with just getting the avoid shock, especially if you don't have Mage Blood yet. Then still Ashes of the Stars, Whisper Infinity, but seems to be very expensive from what I can tell. Yoke of Suffering if you need more res. The Utmost if it's well rolled and cheap. Malian's Fallacy, good, but not on Assassin. And then, like always, the big boy amulets, the Focused and the Reflected Focused. And here's your Forbidden Jewels pair. As for your Assassin, you don't have a choice, Soul Drinker. If you're making this on a Trickster, you go for one of these. Pick your poison. Nice thing with Assassin though is we are Reflect Immune and Ailment Immune and Crit Immune. So, or not Ailment Immune, we're Elemental Ailment Immune. So, which is very nice. And here's your things. I talk about the Death Marked because it opens up 2 gem sockets. So you can remove your Reflect Immunity over here, which is, I wouldn't recommend, because this gives you a lot of survivability and it gives you a lot of single target damage if it's a single target. So like if it's only 1 or if it's 2, boom, suddenly our HP shoots up. And with the damage, it's like they're not low life, they are low life. So it really depends. If you're mapping, realistically, these would be your numbers. It'd be like 52 mil to 87 mil, but that's also assuming in a vacuum that you are cursing. If you're let's assume your cursors aren't even on. So let's go here and we'll just turn the punishment off. We'll turn conductivity. We'll turn LE weakness. If you're like at 27 mil, and then when they're low life, it's 33 mil. Just things to consider. And if they're alone, but if you pop your focus, which is usually what you do when you see a rather scary rare, suddenly you skyrocket. So things to consider. And let's go back here. Graphs, this doesn't matter anymore. Actually, I should just delete it because it's not in the game. But that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, concerns, feel free to message, chat on Twitch, leave a comment, direct message me on Discord, and I'll see if I can help you guys out. Otherwise, good luck on the grind, and hopefully you guys drop some duped mirrors, because currency is reigning this league.